How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to episode 6 of Echoes of Ragnarok. We have our wonderful team all here together, minus one member who, unfortunately, due to life circumstances, couldn't make it tonight. It does happen. If you play TTRPGs, you well and truly understand. And our Earl of Gout has been taken out for tonight. Real quick, just a couple of announcements before we jump into our game. First and foremost is that we have a new partner, as we've just done our giveaway, but we have our new partner with the wonderful people at Deli, who make beautiful luxury dice, and they have graciously offered to make the official Hymgard dice set. These are 2 sets made for the age system, made with some very beautiful and traditional Nordic gemstones. And they are doing everything they can to make them as affordable as possible. They are Australian, if you are Australian, so no need to worry about shipping or anything like that. Yes, you can find that in the description or in the panels if you're watching us on Twitch. The second of the announcements is I have the thing now. My second book, Harbingers of Ragnarok Ulfodin, is set to be released on August 5th. So make sure you get your pre-orders in as soon as possible. And also, if you're in the Melbourne area or in the Victorian area, come on down for the book launch. We'll be holding it on September 6th at Glenroy Library. There will be an event eventually. We haven't quite got the details done yet, but yes, please come on down, grab yourself a signed copy, and yeah, have all the fun. But with that all said, let's jump in to episode 6 of Echoes of Ragnarok. Last we left our intrepid heroes, the party discovered that a young elven ambassador, seemingly from Iliaborg, had been killed, seemingly tortured. Having investigated a bit more, you discovered that it was potentially linked with the attack from the Razor Runners on the Drunken Draka. And in investigating that a bit further, in your own individual ways, discovered that the Razor Runners sort of did at least the front of their business through a bar known as the Crowbar. Finding your way there, you met with the unsure, but a dark elf known as Morrigan, who pointed you essentially in the direction of Warehouse 36, where you found the Razor Runners' main operation. You, through a haphazard concoction, you took out the Razor Runners and captured their boss. At which point he sort of somewhat reluctantly swore himself as a worker for Ada, as well as offering over what information he could just through... you discovered that the person in the house that you found that had been killed was not the person who was supposed to be there. Essentially, he was unsure why this change happened, though it seems that the original inhabitant was meant to be Arnord Gunderson, who is a composer who was visiting Vartengard. Which I believe at about this point, the four of you made your way back. I assume to either Ada's hideout or Eric's surgery. So yes, as you make your way back into the city, what would you like to do?
Well, we did say we'd have to wait a few days for the concert, I believe, correct?
That is correct.
So we have a few days where we can go around and try to find this guy, or we can prep, or we can go about our business. What does everyone feel like? Do we investigate something?
I feel like we should investigate Arnold, get some more details about him and his movements around town. So we just have a bit of information going in. Probably try and
somewhere, right?
Try and find out where he's actually staying. Maybe talk to Olag about what he knows about him. Who is the mysterious elf dude who was wandering around going, the music is different. So that's an option. Ada, during this time, would also like to give her new employees some resources and send some of the smarter kids to go assist them with what they're doing and teach them a little bit of art of subtlety, and kind of send her accountant to look at their books and figure out how to do it a bit smarter. But yeah, I think we can go talk to Olag if we like, or we could, and maybe even if Ulf can talk to what are the other guys called, who I'm not a member of, with the sexy angry one who wants to...
sexy angry
The one that gets away.
And
when I tell you the amount of characters that points out in my world.
Are
you talking about the Varg?
The Varg, yes.
Yeah.
Sigrid?
What's her name?
Sigrid.
Maybe talk to Sigrid, see if she knows anything odd is going on around that loading.
Certainly give that a crack.
I feel like Sigrid's just like scratching the back of her head, like, I feel like someone's talking about me. And not fondly.
Maybe even it's worth not going out of our way, but there is also that dwarf dude who makes guns. Just see what he's been up to. And only because he did seem to leave magically when the attack happened and he was there doing shit.
I mean,
just
he was...
Take it in.
I think Hugo would know the term. It's where you burn engravings into wood rather than scraping it.
It's generally just like, as you know, the very technical term that I know of. If she was in the chat, Mariarty might correct me on this, but it's just wood burning. From what I know.
Name for it. But apart from doing that and putting in some runes, he left. He just walked out during the performance. Not that I was watching, like, I just noticed him as he was walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We could always just, for shits and giggles, because we've got money, buy that gun that Eric wanted,
I'm okay with this.
and be like, "Ooh, we've got a gun."
Now,
Well,
would
both
we
of-
be splitting this, or would this be like one of us coughing it up to like have a?
We could just
A
say
gun.
that Eric will cover it.
Does Eric even have money, mate?
Not our problem. I mean, what?
I gotta say, I could get the gun. I could honestly afford it by myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I would be stuck doing commissions for the next week to make up the money for that. Like, I would be working flat out because I would have nothing left.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd also want the gun, so that's just me being selfish.
How about we go halvesies? You can carry it, and we'll find you a leather worker to make a nice leather holster for it.
Sounds nice.
All right, let's
Sounds
do
good to me. And also it gives you excuse to like be all like, "Oh, Mr. Smoke, I love you. You're the best, greatest thing ever. Teach me shit."
it. I was just asking out of professional curiosity. Thank you very much.
Professional curiosity.
Well, I don't know. That style of flirting seemed to work with me for that guy in the warehouse district. So who knows? Might work for you.
Yeah.
I am
Ready
not
to
going up
replay
this,
the guard floating scene with Smoke.
I am not going up to this guy and going like,
How you going? I'd love you to tell me how you metallurgied and smithed this specific part of this gun. Oh, how did you manage to make it so flexible, get so strong?
No.
I can act, but you're pressing the limits with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be happy to buy the gun because he doesn't work at the shop either. But I do think we might be able to check him out. He did seem a bit. He's a outcast. You couldn't really see it with the mechanics, but there was a half burnt off tattoo. Was it a tattoo or a brand?
It's a brand.
Brand. It was
It's quite like not necessarily even half burnt off. It is in a patch of like you can see essentially. From what you gather, it looks like a brand that has been put into like a healed bone. Like it is essentially, from what you would gather, it looks like he has, long hailed bones to the left side of his body. And, someone has put a brand on top of that. Essentially. But yes, you would you recognized it as the brand, the brand of essentially, it's a God damn it, what's the word? Like banishment. Essentially, it's like you're out. Essentially.
Also, I just want to see who glowers more in like depression, like Ulf or Smoke. They both kind of have that I hate the world vibe.
We can have
I
an
mean,
email
the
off
world
if
is pretty shit.
Have an emo.
Don't worry, mate. There are good things, like alcohol.
It is good. It is good. It kind of numbs everything else that's going on at the moment, I will say. But look, I'm happy to support either of you in your endeavors, but I am curious about these firearms. Would like to see them.
You didn't have any when you were with Bali?
Oh, I did. I just chose not to use them. That's just a personal preference.
No,
Too
I
loud.
fully support that. Like, you can reuse a spear as many times as you want, but with a firearm, once you're out of bullets, you're out of bullets. It's fixed bayonets all the way.
I've always been one to have rather clean kills, but with how I'm feeling about what's going on at the moment, maybe a bit of mess could be fun. Just once.
Well, then how about we go make some mess?
Let's.
All right. Well, I'm going to head off and start to go to where Smoke was running that little gun shop. Did he mention that he was going anywhere?
You would know at this stage, like Sigurd. Sorry, what am I saying? Sigurblot. There's a lot of it that sort of would be wrapping up about this point. But he didn't mention anything about, like, you know, you were also the point that this was a couple nights ago, or like last night, essentially. It has been some time since the occurrence, so it's sort of a, what do you call it? Yeah. But he didn't mention leaving or anything, but then again, he didn't mention much, really. Like,
that's me in the corner.
As someone who has dealt with sales in his lifetime, getting near the end of this festival, we would definitely be heading off while we're having this discussion, like heading to where Smoke's stall was. But is there a common trade route in this city that we think, like, the next city over would be the best place to go? And if so, if he's not there, we'll make our way there and see if anyone's seen him.
so you mean like if were there a trade, like, so you mean to get to the next city along?
Not in the next city, but like typically there's like a main road that trade routes use.
Yeah, if he's packed up, where would we be able to sort of meet?
You know, like 90%, like, oh, not 90%, but a very large amount of people who travel to Vartengard for trade do so because of the river. Like, the river is a major form of transport between, like, either end of Hymgard and Vartengard.
I think I remember something about him going north.
He is, you know that he is from Kolmunda, which is the reclaimed city of, essentially it's the reclaimed Ogni city in Niflheim, which is north of Vartengard.
Well, we can always go to the docks. See how things go. If he's not in his normal spot.
Following your lead.
Alright, we head to his normal spot where his store was to begin with. Start where we last saw him.
Cool. You see, as you approach, walking back up into the market, about this time, it's, from memory, you were out quite late to do this. There's not a whole lot going on. There's a few people still running like little sort of night stalls, still running last minute business. But you see as you pass through, like, there's a lot of the stalls where the market, the stall holders have essentially just brought out chairs, and some have little sort of instruments and stuff, and they're moving around with like food and drink and just sort of having their own almost little market of like looking at each other's stuff and chatting and catching up and that sort of thing. As you approach the stall, Smoking, good lord, what is it?
Smoke and barrel.
Smoke and Fire, I believe it was. You see to the front of the stall, the very large Ogni form of fire, like sitting there staring out, watching. He's sort of chatting with another stall owner. As he sees you approach, he sort of turns and gives you a nod. Yeah. Did you?
Good night, mate.
Oh, well, hello again. I will say also, just to start off with this, just to save myself mentally here, Eric's like, I've got something to do. Just one,
I would like to think that
hurries back.
Hugo had like where he switched the stuff instead of being like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have a pick me up."
That's actually that's a really great point. Eric's unconscious, so you guys, I'm gonna say that you guys return Eric to his surgery, and he is out cold. Like he is by all medical checks, he is stable. Like he is just completely unconscious.
I just leave a little note on the vials that he mixed out of his bag and put it on in next to him on the bed and just be like, too much.
Too much.
And then just like...
Yeah. It says it all, just too much.
So yeah. So you see again, our Arkin Fire Loganson standing at the front of the thing, and he sort of turns, he's like, he turns, he says, "Oh, yes, I've been meaning to catch up. I've got your pallid friends requested utensils. Yes."
Yeah, I'll take him.
Turns, like, pulls out this small leather roll, and passes it over to you.
Thank you kindly, mate.
Yes.
I'm curious. That gun, do we see the gun that Eric was like eyeing up and being like, "Oh wow."
You look into the back of this stall, that entire cabinet is empty.
No!
Ooh. It's like Wild Wild West, but when all the guns are gone. And all they find is a little bootstrap pistol.
Yeah, Fire like turns around as he looks up the back and he goes, "Oh, yes, old Smoke's guns never last long around here. Well,
Where
anywhere,
Smoke,
really.
You know?
He's
I've had a conversation with him before the other day, and I went to get a drink and he disappeared. Mind you, there was a bit of a ruckus, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, he does that. He's you see him, he sort of glances over towards the back of the tea. He's like, he's in the back. He'll be out in a bit.
Okay. Hey, do you like music, mate?
I'm not opposed to it, depending on its style and tune, but why? What did you have in mind?
Well, I heard there was this. Now he was a vocalist, right? The guy.
He's a composer.
He's a composer. I'm trying to find his name. So many notes.
Arnold Gunderson is the one you're referring to, I believe.
Oh, just letting you know, like if you were going to stay in town, Arnold Gunderson is in town to play on a concert in a few days. If you're into that kind of music.
No, you see him, he sort of thinks about it, his jaw sort of grinds side to side. It's
more of the traditional flavory stuff.
It's never been my style, and we've got to be getting home. But
that's all good, mate. I won't keep your time. It's all good. I'll let you pack up your stall and have a look at everyone else's.
Not a problem.
I used to do this, and I loved it.
Cool.
If one did want to try and get their hands on one of Smoke's guns in the future, when would you guys next be in town, or we could make an order?
Well, he sort of looks around and says, we don't travel outside. We don't like closing up shop. We have generally enough customers that are willing to travel to us. But we'd be down for Yule, probably.
Which about 6 months' time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Where could we find you?
Oh, we're at Smoke and Fire up in Kolmunda. we gotta get back. But where is that man? And he turns around. At this point, you hear from the back. You see like a sort of a flap at the back of, or a hatch at the back of the tent opens up, and you see Smoke as he comes out. He's got what you saw before. This essentially like it's a gas mask or a respirator that he puts over his face, and he drops something, what sounds quite heavy, that sort of clunks into a bin off to the side as he wanders out, and it's just like drying his hands with a cloth. As he looks up at Arkin, he's like, "Did I miss anything?" Arkin's like, "No, all quiet out here." It's like, good.
Well, that's Mad Max vibes. Well, we'll let you get to it. If we're ever in Kamunda, I'll give it a look. We're planning on buying a present for my mate.
Oh, good. Good. Arkin sort of turns, he's like, "Yeah, look, there's a reason that I'm the talker."
You're good at it, mate. You're good at it.
Thank you.
Especially in sales, you got to have one person to do the crafting and one person to do the sales, because you very rarely have someone that can do both.
Absolutely. But you enjoy your night, and let me know how the show goes if you ever do come up to Kormunda.
Yeah, will do, mate. I'll see you around. I'm gonna toddle off.
See you around.
As I'm walking
Can
away.
I do less like a vibe check on that? Tell me how the show went.
Yeah.
It seemed off.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Absolutely, you can roll insight on that.
Or perception, I'm assuming?
No, so it'd be...
Or communication.
Hold on, it's perception... So it's perception.
Mhm.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, perception, empathy, if you have it.
I'd just like to say I did roll a 6 on my nice new Deli dice. That yours today on Etsy. Find them on Instagram. And they taste good. Deli dice. 13.
13. He seems... It seemed like a genuine, albeit slightly awkward sort of sign-off. Almost like a... I don't really know what to add on to this conversation, and you've mentioned that you're going to see a show, so have fun. Like, there does not appear to be any malice behind it at all.
No problem.
Can I make a perception check to just see if there are any leftover firearms or anything of the like, sort of loosely packed that they're still visible?
Sure.
Or do you reckon there won't be any? Alright, so that is a total of 13.
13, cool. The stall does seem quite empty. Like, there's a few tools left on the table that Arkin seems to have left out just as sort of a, you know, if someone wants them, sure. If not, whatever. Looking up the back, like next to, there's a small crate, and a few things, and you see it's tucked just behind this small pile of boxes and wrappings. There is a very short, but very chunky looking, from where you're standing, it looks like a shotgun, like a 12 gauge.
It's just like... like, sorry, Ulfa up here, and so Hugo's down here like... What you looking at, mate?
Yeah, it appears to be like very much think like the what is it, like the super shotgun from Doom. It is this just very broad, like sword off, essentially.
Okay.
What is the price tag on that?
So, what's that over there? I just gently motion to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Ning."
You see, like, Arkan's head turns and, like, glances for just a moment. Like, literally as if he has, like, looked back and almost mentally clocked what you are talking about. What was it? Sindri's head, like, Smoke's head sort of turns to look and just stays, like, locked on where you were pointing. Arkan sort of looks back and is just like, as Smoke turns back and, like, just steel eyes you and says, "Mine."
Look, fair enough.
Daddy.
Look, I'm not looking to have it. Do you mind if I just look at it? You can hold it over there. But I am interested in perhaps shifting a little bit away from my trusted bow for a certain job I've got at hand. And I want to make it a bit more painful than a clean shot with a bow, if you understand what I mean. So,
I don't want to shoot them with a bow, mate. I want to eviscerate them.
Yeah.
I don't want to stab them with an arrow. I want them to disappear from my sight.
Pink
I want to get up
mist, as
close
they
and
say.
personal.
Can you roll me a persuasion check, please?
Of course.
Communication check with persuasion if you have it.
I have deception.
Oh, well, I don't think that really helps here, but
He's deceiving. He's actually going to take the gun and run.
Right, that is a total of 14 with 2 5s and a 4 on the stunt die.
poor.
Damn.
You see sort of a guarded point to his eyes as he sort of looks back at you and, like, holds your gaze with a like a sternness that even you're sort of suddenly feeling like, I haven't had to deal with this sort of attitude in a very long time. Like, this is back when I was, like, boot camp for Vali, being, hazed by the boys sort of thing. Like, and he just sort of stares at you, and then but then Arkan sort of goes, "Smoke, he just wants a look." As Smoke turns around, he wanders over, pulls up what is like again, like, just as it looks, it is this smooth, dark steel bore barrels, wrapped in this dark, what appears to be almost very sort of this deep luster timber, this deep brown red timber. It has sort of bronze inlays along the edges of the barrels and leading down into the handle. You see, for what is a very chunky firearm, he sort of grabs it one-handed, flicks it, and holds it out in front of him so that it's like parallel to him, so you're able to take in all of the details. He seems to handle it with like it is part of his arm, essentially.
Bro's like a drill sergeant.
Is there any interesting sigils on it?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, I want to bring out one of my tiny little
Double
hammers
3.
and tap the barrel.
Sorry, say again?
I got doubles.
Mhm.
Double 3s with 3 on the stunt die. And it was perception.
Yeah.
So 10.
10 total. A lot of it seems to be more just sort of, filigree inlay and sort of knotwork. Doesn't really seem to be anything that really stands out as prominent as far as symbols or imagery so much.
Looks nice.
I can certainly appreciate the work of it, and not that I've used one of these before, but I've seen similar in use.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that that could be available next time we meet? Obviously not to the same caliber.
He
But
sort of looks at you and says, "We keep a couple in stock, generally. But, obviously Vatengata has once again cleaned me out."
understood. Good business.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use my role as a envoy
Mhm.
to give a stunt point to Ulf the next time he needs it,
Mhm.
using my thing. And Bon Month, she'd just like to say something witty to charm Smoke just a little to endear herself to him
Mhm.
just a bit.
Cool. Do you have something witty to say, or?
Yes, role play.
Role play.
What's
It's funny
that?
here. It actually says, if you can't think of one, the players and the GM quickly brainstorm options, and you choose among them.
Nice gun with a cheesy grin.
You could
I love
compare
that.
his gun to a fine lady, because I assume a guy like this gun is his baby.
True.
Compliment this gun like you would compliment the finest woman you can think of.
Ada turns to him and says, now in my line of work, I know a lot of very fine women when I see them. And that gun is a very, very fine woman.
Mm-hmm. He turns and says, he looks down in this sort of, you see the slightest, twitch in his mustache that shows, the edge of a grin, and he's just like, yeah, but you gotta respect her or she'll take half your shit. And then, puts the gun off to the side and is like,
Hugo, oh, fuck, I don't want to do it. Hugo is in his mind, just thinking looks at the guy's prosthetic arm. I'm like, shit, she did take half.
Ada just turns around and points at Ulf and says, when we first met him, he was not in a great shape. So, we understand.
I've been
Look
there.
forward to doing business with you in the future, Smoke.
Yeah, have a good night, mate.
nods and just folds his arms, looks out at the other sort of revelry going on. Cool. So you make your way back down towards the harbor. Where are we headed now?
I think Ada would like to at least just maybe do a walk around the harbor, only because that's where the dude who runs the Razor Runners says that his guys were supposed to go when they disappeared, and just see if there's anything going on down there. But then kind of retire for the night and then maybe re-get together the next day because it is pretty late.
Yeah, what time is it?
It's at this stage, from memory, you waited until fairly late in the night to go and raid the Razor Runners. It'd be pushing just up. It's 1 a.m. about this point, I'd say.
Perfect time for crime.
It's the time for crime.
That shotgun looks real good, eh?
You are welcome to try.
I know better than that.
If you are that desperate for a firearm, mate. For that, I'm not exactly experienced with firearms, so give me a month. A month for a basic version of that.
Look.
No friends discounts.
No
That's
friend
fine,
discounts.
it's fine. Not expecting it. But I do know for a fact I can run faster than you, little man.
I will kneecap you, you mother beep. Ada, I'm more than happy to go for a walk with the docks for you. Go for a walk to the docks. but it is getting late. Do you think anything's going to be happening this time of night right now?
That's why I want to be down there. But I'm happy, and I feel very safe by the docks. So, if you need to do something else, if you want to go talk to Sigrid at some point, I don't know when she feigns. I don't know when her best operating times are, but she usually likes to be around at this.
She seems to just find me at this point. Whenever I seem to go have a moment in an alleyway, she appears, so I might just go and try that.
Well, we'll leave you to have a moment in an... Is that a euphemism for
No
something?
judgment,
Look,
mate.
I
That's
feel
what
like-
you're into.
I feel like since I've got here, I've been watched, okay? And call me, I don't know, just, yeah.
Call you freaky.
Are you going to go pretend to cry?
Do you reckon that'd help? I don't know if I can
No.
fake that.
But I can give you I can give you a card.
Can you
of one of my
teach me how?
girls. What?
I can
teach
show you
me?
how to cry. Pulls out Pepper. Open your eyes.
Open your eye.
Like, as wide as you can. Hold on. A good way to go, mate, if you're looking to cry, just carry a little sliver of onion with you. And as you go up to wipe your eyes, just wipe it across your eyelashes. You will not stop crying for like 10, 20 minutes.
Sounds like masochism. Look, I've got a few other things I need to look into, so stay safe.
Yeah. We'll have a chat maybe after lunchtime. Tomorrow, come down by the warehouse, and we'll...
I'll be awake at 11. Nice and bright and early.
Early. Then I walk off.
All right. Be safe, Ada. I'm going to go get some sleep. Normal sleep, not the knockout stuff that Eric keeps doing to himself. He needs to label that shit correctly. And I walk off.
And Ada will go for a walk by the docks on the way home. And if there are any drunk persons staggering by the edge alone, she might just push them in the water by accident.
You are wandering down through the towards the harbor, making your way over one of the bridges through to the other side. You do see like there are a number of people wandering around at this time. There's still a number of locals carousing various levels of intoxication as you make your way across to the other side around to where it sort of gets darker, gets a bit more secluded. You see there's a man sort of stumbling along. Seems he's got a bottle in one hand. He's just gently humming to himself, sort of singing some sort of song under his breath. You know when just like you want to sing a song but you don't know the words? And you sort of do that like and seven, like it's
My ADHD brain knows that all too well. I can listen to a song 1,000 times. I still won't know the lyrics.
It's the
Ada starts humming a song of praise to her god, one of them, and just kind of does that walks too close accidental hip check.
Can you roll me like just roll me an attack roll, I guess, at this stage.
Would this be 13?
13? Cool. You trudge along, just like continuing on as you were, sort of keeping a straight path. You see a moment as he, sort of like just seems to overbalance one way, stumbles a little bit, and as he goes to sort of balance back, you just like hip and shoulder. Nothing, too severe, just a sort of lean bump and sort of bounce off him. as you continue walking, you just hear as he falls into the water.
And as she walks away, she just takes a coin and throws it in the water, and just keeps walking.
There is a moment as you're walking, and there is a moment almost, I think, like as you're walking, where there is just silence. And it's an oddly tense moment, even for you, as you understand that in this moment you would have expected to hear splashing. You would have expected to hear some sort of heckling shouts or, calls for help. But there's nothing. There is just this gentle sort of bloop, 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 as there's the sound of rippling water and bubbles for a moment. But
if you
you
looked closely at Ada's face, you would actually see her flinch. Like this moment of actual regret / guilty conscience kind of thing. But she just keeps focused forward. And
how's it going, everybody? We hope you're enjoying this episode of Echoes of Ragnarok. Don't forget, episodes are streamed live on Twitch every second Thursday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. But on every other Thursday, you can catch me at the same time slot doing some art, playing some games, or just hanging out with all of you to talk about my world of Hymgard. Building the world of Hymgard has been an amazing, albeit challenging journey, and I am so happy that so many of you are just as excited to experience it as I am to share it. If you would like to help support this project along with my content and other creative endeavors, as well as snag yourself some exclusive perks and swag, then don't forget to subscribe at our Ko-fi page and check out our channel partners and affiliates. And a huge thank you to all of my Ko-fi subscribers. You make all of this possible, and I am so grateful. But with that all said, thank you all so much for your support, and let's get back into the action. Cool. So where are you headed?
So she's looking towards to go to the area where the guy from the Razor Runners said where the guys were on patrol around that dock, just to see if there was anything out of place that she would notice that that she would notice is not normal, or what happened to them, kind of thing, that she can kind of casually vibe out if she can at all. Like, how did they go from going to do this thing that they were supposed to do to never coming back and disappearing, and then being on something, but not drugs, but not magic, and attacking one of the most prominent taverns in the city?
You walk for a time, and you wandering around. Can you roll me a perception test, please?
I don't know why, but when you were describing all that, all I could think of was CrossFit. They started doing CrossFit, and they were just really angry and hungry.
I have done CrossFit exactly once in my life, and I don't think I have ever been so close to death.
Does seeing or hearing count?
Either will work at this moment, because I imagine so. It's a +2. Yes.
16.
16. Cool. You wander for a time, just not really with any sort of purpose in mind. Just wandering, taking in your surroundings, almost doing sort of figure eights and laps around the ways as you take in everything around you, the sights, the sounds, trying to find some sort of anomaly or something in this area. You around you there's sort of people shouting. There's various calls from market stalls still open, or various sort of not so high and mighty taverns that might have certain not for the faint of heart shows.
The noises of a city.
Yeah. There are various music, various bands and musical groups on the corners playing different songs and all that, and there are people moving all around you. Can I get you to roll a willpower test?
Oh my god, am I about to get hypnotized by music? God, my brain just went, ha!
There's one dude following behind you with a little hand flute going like snake charming you.
Yeah, I was like, if it's not magic and it's not words, and we're dealing with a composer, my brain was like, ooh. Okay, that's alright. It's alright. 14?
14, cool. You continue walking. There's a brief moment as you in the crowd and people sort of bumping past you as in your sort of as you're wandering in your sort of almost like mind palace trance sort of state. As there's a moment as people sort of bump into you that you feel your as you turn to look, something that you imagine afterwards would have been a whatever, like it's a nothing. Suddenly you feel almost like your collar rises for a moment as you turn, and like there's a brief snap of flash of anger as you look at them, and as you turn to look into the eyes of this stranger, you see the same anger, except vastly more intense in theirs. And as you bump into them, they turn to look at you. See their lips curl into this sort of snarl of anger as someone else bumps into them, and they just like sock them. Essentially, this fight breaks out in front of you, like people diving in on each other. As you pull away, there is just an absolute like pile up in the street in front of you.
Ada tries to using her street savvy dance around it, and many a time escaping out of fights or getting out of fights, so whatever, athletics or whatever. But she does want to try and see if she can see someone who is watching with like a detachment, like someone who is like, if there's anyone around who is too interested, like, but not in the not in the hey let's get rowdy fight, not in the fight.
Yeah, they're watching in a like with interest, like yeah. Sure, roll me a perception check.
Like it's their experiment. Double fours. 8 + 5. I can count is 13. Plus 2 is 15.
Cool. You scanning the area around you. It's hard to make out. Like there's a lot of chaos going on at the moment. A lot of the surrounding area seems to have like cleared off. Essentially anyone not involved has cleared off. There doesn't seem to be anyone around you that seems to be like watching with any particular sort of interest. Most people who are watching seem to be there's a couple of guys who seem sort of like larger and a bit more thuggish off to the side, sort of sitting and like arms folded, almost seeming like they're almost like placing, sort of these little playful bets. But nothing that seems to be anyone that's like watching with any sort of other intent.
So it kind of almost acted like an infection, kind of like spread from person to person, or like is there any like, I don't know, out of place music or like glyphs or anything written on the ground or about this particular spot at all?
Gross pheromone maxing.
You see that, like, as the fight sort of continues in front of you, there are points that people almost sort of break away and take a moment of like, sort of like, what am I doing? And then like look around and run off in various directions. There's nothing around that seems to be any sort of glyphs on the ground. Since you did bring it up, one of the things you do notice is the band cleared off. Whether it be out of fear or like, you know, sort of proximity to the fight, or whatever, they're no longer there. You also notice as you look down, recognizing it both within yourself and within the people that are here, you feel that anger that you felt, this sort of, you know, flash of anger and rage and all that, it's just gone. And looking around, there's a lot of people who are still in the fight that have lost that, like, you know, wild-eyed rage and are now more or less just continuing the fight because they're continuing the fight, sort of thing. Like, it's
a pride thing. No,
yeah, it's like,
to back down's a wuss.
I'm punching you in the face because you're punching me in the face, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. One last question. Does the rage bubble seem to have gone somewhere else? Like, can I see any, like, further fights down the street? Or...
Nope.
Ada takes note of where this happened, but also takes note that this started and stopped here, but the other guys came around here and then continued on somewhere else, which is weird.
I'm not there, I can't even say anything.
And to any of the, because it is Sigurd Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of these places seem new, like a new pop-up, or are they all like the standard places that are normally around this?
They're pretty standard, honestly.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. We're like looking around. There's nothing here that's essentially. There's nothing here that's, you know, there's no stalls or anything that are brought in. This is a fairly standard.
They're just busier than usual because it's Sigurd. Yeah. Okay. Ada counts her lucky stars that she didn't get in a mass brawl without anyone else there that she knows, and takes that win. And but she's gonna do something a little bit different. Rather than going back, she's worried that whatever just happened could travel with her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to go too bad Eric's not here because it would be perfect to go to Eric's place.
Yes, the possible rage-induced violence would be great on a chemically unconscious human. Imagine, they would never do any harm.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll actually... God, I want to kind of experiment and go hang out with just one person and see if something happens. But I also... I don't really have anyone I can do that with who won't absolutely beat my head in.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, like, if I do it with either of you guys and you guys catch the rage, I'm going to, like, get my head kicked in. So, Ada will go back to her actual house. Alone.
Get her head kicked in by children.
Not the just a house that she's alone, an actual house.
Cool. Well, that's gonna be interesting, isn't it?
Oh
Ulf.
no, the children.
Ulf, what are you doing?
So, I am in fact heading down an alleyway, just walking quietly, softly, thinking about some of the things that recently have happened. And I just call out into the night, not too loud, but just loud enough so it leaves a little bit of an echo. So, you watching me? Just to see if I am being watched by Sigrun, because at this point, Ulf really does believe that there is always someone watching him from the Varg.
Can you roll me a communication test and tell me both what the result is and what the number on the stunt dice is?
The result is a 10, and the stunt die is a 3.
Okay. There is a... As you call out, or like talk into the darkness of the alleyway, there's silence for a moment. A long sort of lingers just to the point that you... The point where you just go, no, I'm going crazy. Until you hear just off to the side this... peering around, like as you lean over, looking down the alleyway, in a sort of further down the path, just next to this sort of run of barrels, you see a very large... It was difficult to make out at first because you thought it might have just been something lying, like a patch, like a shadow or a patch of darkness. You see a very large dog. Is this sort of what looks somewhere sort of like if you were to cross a Rottweiler with a staghound? Like it's that sort of like, or not staghound, like a Ridgeback almost. Like it's got that, like the what do you call it? Like the
mutton chops.
Yeah, it's got that sort of like Mastiff build, but then has this sort of this large, like almost crest of that coarse, wiry sort of hair
Irish
along its
hair.
Yeah, across its shoulders, almost like a sort of a mane or like a cloak over its back. As you see it as you look over at it, its head just sort of tilts up and looks over at you, and then it just seems to rest its head back down on these like folded paws.
Slowly approach, but in a non-threatening manner. I just call out to the dog. So are you working with the Varg as well?
Can you roll me a... Was there an animal handling?
I'm gonna.
See, that's what I was
crap
just
my
looking for,
shit
and I
if
wasn't
it's
sure.
Just a normal dog.
Yes, it'd be a communication test, please.
All right, that is a 14 with... No, just a 14.
Cool. Yeah, as you approach, he seems to sort of like he's watching you. Doesn't seem to be bothered by you. Sort of just head up, looking over at you, watching you. Is very still.
So you mentioned he's sort of like around a corner vaguely at the
essentially
end of
like so no more like so like there's the back wall of a building, and there is like a run of empty barrels, and he's just sitting lying down next to one of those. Just beyond him, you can see the back of the back door of a building. It appears to be a judging by where you came in and where you got to this point, you'd gather this is essentially the back door to the Drakkar, the drunken Drakkar.
Right. I just approach it
Seems-
slowly again and just sit beside the dog.
He just, like, as you sit down, just sort of watches you sit, and then just head down again. You see heads, like, he rests his head down, is like very, very calm, very, at peace, but is also, you recognize as you're sitting down that he's put his head back down in a way that you can see one corner of the eye is on, can see you, essentially.
Probably gonna have the most normal conversation with you, aren't I? It's quite the town, quite the city. Some weird people here, and I thought things were weird out there. Why am I talking to a dog? Why am I talking to a dog? So I'm assuming you don't work for the Varg. I don't even know why I asked a dog that question. I truly don't know. But
He sits up, like, stretches his back, looks over at you, gives this sort of, like, his jowls sort of bubbling, like, outwards as he hops up and just trots down the alleyway.
Do you work for the Varg? Slowly stands up and cautiously follows. At this point, like, the lack of sleep is really settling in as well.
I think you're going insane.
Yeah.
You find a den of dogs, and you're just like, this is where I live now. You are now a hobo.
Cool. So you're following the dog?
Yep, just very cautiously.
Yep. Cool. Roll me a perception check, please.
Am I able to add searching to that, or just perception?
Yeah, I'll let you add searching.
All right, so that is 4, 6. That'll be 15.
15. Cool. You heading out. Hold on. Heading out into the following after this dog. There are a couple of moments that you lose it. Like, it sort of, like, passing through different shadowed alleyways. This dog is pitch black. As it moves through different alleyways and cutting around corners, there's a moment where you're like, what? Hang on, where'd it go? And then suddenly it's just wandering up the corridor again. Eventually it, you see it trot up to a this sort of small building on the left of the road, and it sort of pauses, sits down, and seems to look inside, sort of smells the air, and then ducks in.
Do I hear people as the dog enters?
Mm-hmm. So approaching the building, as the dog makes its way in, you hear two voices talking. One sounds quite low and gruff. Sounds, whoever it is, they sound stressed, and they sound like they have been stressed for the majority of their adult life. The other one seems a bit still quite sort of deep and resonant, but also slightly softer, slightly calmer, more in control, and you very quickly recognize it to be Sigrid.
Bro,
I just pushed the
talking to
door
Sigrid's
open.
dog.
I pushed the door open.
The moment that you were like, you were like, is this just a dog? I was like, why is this not just a dog? This would have been so funny.
I pushed the door open.
I
I stared directly at the dog.
you
Do we work for them?
push the door open, and you see this dog as it like lowers itself down to this like resting position on the ground at like literally like right behind Sigrun, like right at, you know, the back of her chair. You see she sort of almost spares this little sort of like glance of where the hell have you been, and then sort of looks back up at the figure across from her, who is a fairly broad-shouldered dwarf. Where have I put?
I thought I went back to my place.
To this fairly stout and sturdy dwarf. It's long, sort of wiry blonde hair, slight receding at the front, pulled back in this thick braid. It's large beard, trimmed into a sharp diamond shape. So his clothing is kept fairly simple, though he wears a long vest and this almost like leather harness over his tunic and trousers, sleeves rolled up to the elbow. He seems to be staring at Sigurd with this pair of like pince nez on his nose, or these glasses on his nose, with a vein down the side of his head that seems almost to just be part of his image now. Like it's not necessarily it seems to just be fixed, like it's hardened in this position. As you push the door open, he's like, his eyes snap to you as he stops, almost like mid-rant, and his fingers curl back as he looks over at Sigrid, and sort of gives like a... Sigrid turns and looks and just says like, Ulf, we weren't expecting the pleasure. What are you doing here?
Look, you're probably not going to believe me, but I met your dog in a back alley, and I spoke to it, and I asked if it worked for you, and I guess it's on the payroll. I don't have much else to say besides that. But anyway, is there a chair that I can like pull up at the table?
Mm-hmm.
I just pull up a chair and just plonk myself down.
Mm-hmm. She smiles as she like glances down the dog and just says, yes, Scuggy has a tendency to find himself where he's needed. Yes, is there something on your mind?
Just a couple questions. Have you heard about what went down earlier tonight?
She looks back to the dwarf and says, thank you, Dar. We will reconvene later. The dwarf...
I don't mean to interrupt, by all means.
No, we were done. The dwarf sort of gives this like stands up, lifts up this sort of large heavy tub, sort of tucks it under his arm, and semi-storms out. Like, it wasn't a very rough, it wasn't like a full storm, but it was definitely like a I've got so much to do sort of thing. As Sigrid turns and, like, rubs one of her temples, and she's like, oh, thank Skadi for that. Apologies. Anyway, you were saying something.
Did I just save you from something?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Could we consider that a debt paid?
No. Oh, no.
Worth a shot. Worth a shot.
Turns around and says, now you were saying something about what happened earlier?
Well, you have eyes and ears in most places. I assume you've potentially heard about what happened with the Razor Runners tonight?
You talking about the attack on the Drakkar or your attack on Warehouse 36?
Take a guess.
Well, I can't really say. Both seem very interesting to me.
Well, look, we control the Razor Runners now, but that's besides the point. Look, I'm here. I want to know more about someone called Morrigan. Any information you can give me?
The name's one I've heard before, though I've heard it in a few separate places. What are we talking about here?
May have had an interaction with them. May have called them a coward. May have threatened them.
Interesting.
What does that mean for me personally?
Well, that, as I mentioned, would entirely depend on which Morrigan you are referring to.
Dark elf, tall.
I see. Does she know you work for me?
No.
That no was amazing. That was almost a teenage boy. No.
It's like, no, if it's bad, yes, if it's good.
Yeah.
What's the right answer here?
You see, something cross Sigrid's face. There is a moment of hard to really say what the exact emotion was, but there's this. Roll me a perception test, please.
That is a total of 13.
13, cool. You see this moment of consideration cross Sigrid's face. It is more than, it is there is a genuine sort of like sort of thought that cross moment of contemplation. She says, if this is, in all fairness, the Morrigan that I'm thinking of, then I feel she probably knows, and therefore knows not to play with my things. You'll be fine.
All right. The reason why I wasn't upfront with my answer just before is also because, as far as I know, there's only one of Varley's crew here, and doesn't take long to figure out who I'm working with if you just pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but look, that's good. That's good. But what information can you give me on it? I just want to know a bit more. Anything. Just even a crumb.
to give Dragyn some time to think. Like, bruh, she called you one of her playthings. And you're like, one of the people I work with. Like, we work together, and she's like, you're one of my things.
Yeah, like, not to play with my things.
I own you.
Like, the difference in terminology is really setting the mindset of, like, she's up here, and you're like, you're part of my temporary furniture.
Pretty much.
You're a bottle on the shelf. Eventually, it's going to run out. I'll throw away the bottle.
You see, like, there is that look returns to Sigrid's face, and there is a moment of, like, very solid contemplation of what to say next. Like, it is perhaps something that you are not entirely familiar with. Being from, in the ideals of, you would be, as part of Varley's crew and part of this, part of a place where information is not hidden, it is not hoarded, it is shared, because if we share it, we survive. Whereas in this case, you see, there is a moment of, like, how much, what do I say? Like, how much is too much? And you also remember that this is a person that they're like a good portion of their market is information. So Luke says, they are one who would probably call themselves a rival to myself and my master.
Understood.
They are again, as long as you play your part and do not antagonize further, she shouldn't be any trouble. But there does come a point when accidents happen and there is little I can do other than retaliate.
You're hinting at things that I could potentially do. Is there a group, a person, something I should stay away from then? Because look, I'm new here, you know that. Don't know everything here. Not going to act like I do.
What I am saying is, mind your step and understand that while we have a partnership, you are part of my books, but you do right by me, I'll do right by you, but if the choice comes down to you or my crew, I will choose my crew.
I'd do the same for mine.
Good.
On that note, I did ask you a while ago, if you've heard anything about the rest of mine that may or may not have survived the attack I was a part of just outside of the city. Anything?
Oh. She turns and, like, pats down this coat that she's wearing, reaches into one of the inside pockets and pulls out this sort of folded pieces of parchment. Hands it over towards you. You see essentially a seal in it that bears Varley's symbol.
I reach over, take it.
Mm-hmm.
Free of charge, or what's this?
Consider it a gift. We do run the trading post after all.
Just gonna put that
Mm-hmm.
into my little vest. I'll open it after. Is there anything, just one last question, anything else we should be keeping an eye out for at the moment? Any big plans, big deals, anything we should be prepared for? Or at least I should be prepared for?
Nothing on my end, no. When you make your way to the top, you tend to learn when to stop and just let the money come in.
Understood. Well, I appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it's time that I finally try to rest. Have a bit of a sleep.
It's probably a
Might
good
only
idea.
get a few minutes, but...
Do you need Scuggy to take you home?
Wouldn't mind it.
His name
Nice
is
enough, dog.
Scuggy.
And turns and it's just like, she turns and you hear her, she like gives a quick whistle and then says a few things that, like, you've heard people give dogs commands.
Mhm.
You've heard, like, generally that authoritative, sort of, big dog tone, as people would say. The way she talks, it's not in a language that I believe you would understand. But it catches you off guard for a moment because it sounds almost like it is a request, almost as you would say to someone, like a friend, like hey, can you do this for me? Sort of thing. Like an actual, sort of more of a intelligent, empathetic statement rather than a command. But this large black dog sort of head comes up and looks over as it lifts itself up and makes its way out towards the door again.
Well, I appreciate this. And I look down at Skagi. You're pretty good. I slowly reach out to just pat them on the head while presenting like the back of my hand gently.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him a little pat.
Mm-hmm. You see as he like you pat, he seems to sort of he takes it, but at the same time you gather it's almost like the way he takes it's not so much like the almost like relishing that a lot of dogs would have. It's almost much more of a, oh yes, okay, yeah, this is what we're supposed to do sort of thing. And he guide like just wandering through the streets and takes you to Eric's surgery.
That's right, you're staying at Eric's surgery, aren't you?
I am.
He doesn't really have a place yet.
I just push the back door open,
Mm-hmm.
make my way in, head to the little bed that I was trying to rest on previously, and I just put my bow next to me, lay down, try to sleep.
We gotta get you like a proper bed or something, dude. Like you're sleeping on a stretcher.
Scuggy, you see Scuggy, sits across the alleyway from you, watches you sort of enter in. As the door closes, you hear just this, and then paw pads down the corridor. I realize that in the last couple of sessions, I've completely forgotten that Sigrid's meant to have a dog.
I mean, you did it so that like Scuggy now just goes where the fuck Scuggy wants.
There is a reason for that, which will become apparent if this is raised. Cool. So the three of you return to your places of residence. Hugo.
Yes.
You return to your home. Let me just bring up the thing here. you return to your home, your workshop area. As you approach, sort of in your half asleep, sort of weary state, you stop as you see your workshop door is open. It's just ajar, but it's open.
Pulls out a hammer. I'm gonna walk up and just go like beside the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna push it in with the hammer and then like lean away from the door in case someone's about to shoot whoever's there.
Mm-hmm.
Any reaction?
Doesn't appear to be no.
Just gonna lean my head around the corner, reach in. Fucking where's the light switch?
Yep. So you've flicking the light on, and looking into the workshop area. The lights sort of like flicker on.
Like hydrogen lights, just like slowly starts to get brighter.
Across the way you see, so your workbench is laid out, your forge at the back of the workshop, and around as you continue to look around in the far corner, standing by one of the workbenches, seemingly sort of very, what do you call it? Holding it in a way, like holding whatever. What was the last thing you were working on?
So what is the technology level of this current area?
This current area, so it would depend on generally like whereabouts. So here specifically, it'd be around Vartengada. It's
Pre-industrial.
Pretty much, like it's pretty like for the most part, there's there's engines, there's lights, there's some like computer technology, but nothing groundbreaking. It's more on a person-to-person basis, really. So it's more about what you could scavenge up at this stage, or what you could have put together. What would Hugo be working on at this point, I guess?
At this point, I would probably just the thing that's coming to my head right now is he's making an like semi-industrial air filtration unit
Mm-hmm.
for someone who wants to like have a house no dust, like sucks the dust out, pushes clean air in.
Mm-hmm. So you see,
just leave the dust outside.
yeah. So by the counter, by one of your workbenches, holding essentially your prototype in a way that is sort of like giving the energy of, I don't know what this is. Like, I don't, like, essentially even in the idea of like, I don't even know which way to hold this or anything like that. You see a bit of a, sort of a more, not slender, but definitely slighter dwarf than yourself. It's long, sort of much lighter red than yours, but almost into blonde, but still holding a little bit of that sort of red gold sort of color. Long braided beard hanging down his front, and this sort of apron vest hanging with various woodworking tools around his belt. You see your brother Lacroon, who is currently looking at this piece like it is a like it is a child's macaroni art that just got brought home, and he's trying to figure out what it is.
At the risk of you correcting me, it's a prototype, Rooney.
Lacroon like looks over and is like, "Oh, I gathered that much, but a prototype of what?"
It sucks. It sucks
Well,
pollen out of the
yes,
air.
I could gather
People
that
with
much.
allergies. You have allergies, you stay inside. It sucks the pollen out of your house. What are you doing here?
Why do people have dust in their houses?
Because some people are just fucking messy. As one eye, just a single eye goes to my pile of failures in the corner.
As he puts this back down and sort of gives that like, yes, I'm learning that.
Sand and soap's in the corner.
Oh, good. He goes over, like, takes out, like, cleans his hands, then wanders back over, sort of drying them, just looking at you with this telltale lacquered, like, air of superiority.
Just gonna go put my hammer down and start taking off my jacket. What are you here for? Like, I haven't seen you in 5 years.
No. And I hate to break that streak. But,
Me too.
I was in the neighborhood, and, well, I had a free evening. I thought I'd come see what little brother was up to.
Making shit and solving a murder. What about you?
Murder?
Yeah, there's been a string of murders.
Interesting.
It
Never
is,
picked you
actually.
for a sleuth, but there's a first time for everything, I suppose.
For Mac here, like, what's a sleuth?
Oh, sorry, like it's a person who would solve, like, it's a detective, essentially, like it is.
My general expertise on certain subjects were required.
Right.
I get paid.
I see.
Some of us have to, we don't just market up an art piece. We actually have to make something functional.
Well, should I be informing father of your new career choice, then?
Nah, it's more of a side hobby at the moment.
I see. And as he, like, glances around again at the workshop and is like, because your main career path seems to be going so well.
I think so.
Anyway,
Again, why the fuck are you in my house?
I just came to see you. I had a free evening, and I
You
came
coulda-
in.
You could have sent a letter. My door was open. I thought I was about to throw a hammer at your head.
I was here anyway. I just thought I'd drop in.
That is suspicious as fuck, and you know it. 5 years, and you'd want to drop in. What is going on?
I was invited to Vartengata, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to see you again, that's all. Also, 100% you know he came here to gloat. Like, there is absolutely no chance he just came here to see you.
Oh yeah, he definitely is like, I was invited here by the Lord, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you scourgy motherfucker. So what is this? I'm assuming there's something. What is this big, amazing thing that you've currently done? Did you discover a new type of tree?
Oh, no. I've created a masterpiece.
Is that
So
a
much.
desk?
Hey?
Is that a desk? The last one was a desk.
Might be a desk. But I was invited here for a special presentation, but also, of course, for the wonderful pièce de résistance of this concert that is coming up.
Just for your benefit, Hugo, hearing that, squints a little, like his under eyes squint just a little bit, and then you see he has a tiny grin growing on his face, like the tiniest of grins, as he's like feeling a bit smug now.
Mhm.
You were invited to the concert.
He like pulls out these. You see, like, the grin that you have pales to this, like, almost like Cheshire cat face splitting smile that he has as he reaches into his vest and pulls out a slip of parchment. He says, "I have been invited to the feast in his honor."
Well, my lord, I bow before such majesty.
Oh, you do have to suck the fun out of everything, don't you?
Well, you sucked off everything else, so...
Can we shove him in a closet and steal his invitation?
Anyway.
It's a side thought for later. When he's out of the room.
He sort of turns and glances around.
I bet you're staying with the Lord as well. Let me guess, on the higher side of town?
Oh, of course. This is all very... What's the word?
Standard.
Cozy. But I, of course, hold myself to our family standards, of course. It was wonderful seeing you, brother. I will pass on your messages to father.
Enchanté for reclusive skills.
And a sleuth to boot. Who'd have thought it? As he wanders past you.
Which lord would invite you? Of all people, I cannot think of one in town.
He pauses as he goes to pass you, as he says, "Friends in high society tend to smile upon you when you bring gifts."
It's a fucking desk.
He closes the door behind him.
I'm gonna look really upset because he either disabled it or I forgot to like set it up when I left this morning.
Mhm.
As I pull a lever and you see the mat, as you like the welcome mat as you walk in the door, and then you tread on it, it just goes, and there's about 2-inch spikes just come out of the mat as you tread on it. I was like, oh fuck!
Mhm.
I forgot to set it.
So, yeah, is there anything that you would like to do at this point?
That's just. Of all my reclusive siblings, it had to be the guy that likes playing with other guys' wood. No judgment on him, no judgment. I walk over to the air. I'm checking my air filter.
Mhm.
Has he put sawdust in it?
Roll me a perception. Okay.
This mother. I'm using these lovely dice, one of which looks like sweet chili sauce. Look how beautiful they are. The red one shall be my stunt dice.
Mhm.
Just checking my skills. 10.
10.
No, wait. Can I add smithing to this or
Yeah.
engineering as I
Engineering would be, if this is more of like a sort of thing.
Yeah.
This
would be more of an engineering. That's 13.
13. Cool. Yeah. Looking it over, like, it genuinely, like, beyond like the slight scuffing on the bottom where he essentially dropped it on the table, you genuinely get the sense that he had no idea what it was. Like, he genuinely was looking at it going, I don't understand what this is at all.
He's such a naturalist. It's unnatural. I'm going to probably spend 10 minutes buffing out the scrapes that he left on my bench, on my air filter. And then I'm going to move it to the side, up against some explosives, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Cool.
Fucking lie down like fucking burn him and fucking tables. And
as you lie down, you like sit down and fold your arms and go to lean back, and there is this as just flour just up from your pillow.
I know he's nearby and he wants to hear me fucking scream, so I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction. But you just see my eyes; everything's covered in white. And it's just, like Home and Away, where like you see them open their eyes, like.
Amazing.
I'm gonna put sawdust in. I'm gonna put metal shavings in his boots, and he's never gonna pull them out. I'm gonna put a rock in his shoe that will never fall out.
Cool. So Ada.
Yes.
You return to your home. Are you returning, assuming that they are two separate things? Because I don't think it was covered in the thing. I'm assuming the way you said it that you have a house and you have your hideout. They are two separate things, yes?
Yeah.
So you're returning to your house.
Yes.
Cool. Is there anything you would like to do before you go to bed, or?
She would like to go to the why is my brain not working?
All the time.
Altar to the non-nasty sea god.
Mm-hmm.
And just, put a little bit of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like pat it, like a...
Who's a good girl? Who's a good sea god?
Like, I'm not scared of you. You bring me happiness and joy.
Yep.
Good vibes. Reminds me of all the good times with my families. And I just, all I have to do is be like, thanks, dude, every now and then, and you're fine.
Cool.
I don't have to murder people for you. And then, she will just kind of go to bed. Like...
So you, giving an offering to Njord, in the little sort of altar that you have there. There's a moment as you look at this sort of altar and thinking about what you... Thinking about your experience sort of earlier with the water. There's a moment that you feel that sort of odd sort of pull almost as you think about like where you've come from, and there's almost that longing to return to remembering growing up in the Sundered Cove. Under Njord's protection and guidance. But you sort of quickly sort of shake it off and hurry over to prepare for bed. The three of you, each of you go to rest. Real quick, just for where we're moving into, just a thought, like, do we want to end this session there, and so we can move in with Eric next session with all of us?
I think that would be for the best.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Because it seems like a good spot. Very much like the idea of this being like Eric has passed out, so is therefore not here. It kind of worked out, actually. But we will end this session there. I think everyone's still in ads at this moment. pretty much. But if you are not Nads, thank you all for hanging out. And yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks for the next episode to see where all of this goes. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you could watch it on Twitch. We stream live every second Thursday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And on the other times, you can find me, on the other Thursdays, you can find me either doing some art for this wonderful world of Hymgard, or playing some video games if I'm feeling like it. So yeah, come check it out. But until then, we will catch you next time. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.